Au Canada, il y a environ 200 000 de personnes qui sont sans abri.
Au Squamish, il y a plus de 200.
Et ça, c'est seulement les gens qui vont aux Helping Hands.
On avait la chance d'aller aux Helping Hands et film de vidéo. Quand nous entrons, on a vu les bénévoles qui travaillent.
On a parlé avec Marie McKell, qui est la directeur de Helping Hands. Et on a le demandé exactement ce quoi que Helping Hands fait.
Elle a dit que Helping Hands fait la première étape d'hiérarchie des besoins de Maslow.
La première étape d'hiérarchie des besoins de Maslow sont la nourriture, des vêtements et une place pour dormir.
And we do community. Just like I said at the bottom of that Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if those needs are not met, they can't do anything else of their higher needs. So food, by that we have like several food programs. So we do feed people twice a day, like the public drop-in and our emergency folks, 2 hot meals a day, lunch and dinner. We feed our sleepers, I like to, or people who stay over each night, also a breakfast in the morning. Then we do shelter. Shelter, we have 3 programs. We have an emergency shelter program, which is 365 days a year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Then we have an extreme weather program, which is only open in the cold weather months and gets open for an additional 15 beds. So the emergency shelter has 15 beds, an additional 15 beds for when the temperature goes below 0 or there's incessant rain. So, and then our 3rd program is this program called Home Instead, and here we have people who are in their next step housing. This is a dry house. In other words, in order to get in here, only because we have no other way of doing it, we can't staff it 24 hours a day, so people can't have addictions issues, or they can have them, but they've got to be clean and they can't use on site. Then the community part is like our drop-in. People can come in and do eat and get services. We provide referrals and case planning, and we do people's taxes, and we set them up with food. We lead them to the homeless outreach workers. And we also give them a sense of belonging in that community. And in there, we ask people to give back. So people come and they sleep there and they may eat there. And then we say, well, what can you contribute to this community? Because you want to make sure that people are giving back in that community so that they're actually growing and they're actually getting a sense that this is not just lay down, we'll just do whatever you want. It's like, hey, yeah, we want to help, we will help, but we also feel that you have something to give. So each person gets told that they have something to give, and whatever they can, they give. So that could be anything from fixing bicycles to mopping the floor to picking garbage up outside to helping with the food rescue. Anything that they can give. And maybe for some people, all it is being pleasant to the people around them until they can give more. And we really believe that when you ask people to give or to contribute, then they get better. They start to feel better. They start to feel value, their own self-worth, and that improves their potential for independence.
On a demandé c'est quoi un jour typique.
Typical day, you get up, you're probably damp and cold. You kind of figure out how you're going to get your first cup of coffee, how you're going to get your cigarette. Like, these are things that people depend on because those are the things in their control, hopefully. Generally, we open in the cold winter months, we open quite early. I think we open at 8 in the winter. So that people who are living on boats and cars and camps can quickly get in and get warm in the morning. And a lot of times people choose to do that versus sleep with us in the shelter. The shelter that we have is not very It's definitely not dignified. So then, you're damp, you got to get in, you got to come to the shelter, you want to get warm, you might get coffee and some snacks and, muffins and things that we get from like Starbucks and everything. And then I would say probably people are tired because they're sleeping in the cold, so they don't sleep very well. And we can't allow people to sleep in the shelter during the day, so it's really tough for them because all they want to do is put their head down and go to sleep.
Quelques personnes voient ça comme une aire de jeu, et autres comme une place où dormir.
On demandait c'est quoi des stéréotypes des sans-abri.
That they're scary and that they're not just like you and me. Like when I remember when I first came to Helping Hands, I looked out into the room and the big room, and there's all these people sitting around talking coffee and and I'm like, this is like any other table, just different faces, different socioeconomic demographic, right? But there were the leaders in the room, there were the followers in the room, there were the clowns and the troublemakers, just like your classroom. That's my classroom, right? Your classroom, you got kids who are like A students, kids who are D students, kids who are smart Alex, kids who are falling asleep. It's the same thing. And so the biggest misconception is that they're scary and that they're not. But when you get there and you start to know them, they're hilarious. They're awesome. The other misconception is that they're choosing it. The fact that people are homeless or are addicted or have mental health issues, it's not their choosing. Like that's the other huge misconception, that people think that they just pick up their socks and get on with it. Well, it's not that simple, and they didn't choose to be there. Yeah. Something happened along the way.
Juste avant qu'on parte, on a demandé pourquoi elle a décidé de travailler pour Helping Hands.
From the time I was very young, I was driven to be working on social justice. So I knew that I would always be inspired to get justice for people who couldn't get it for themselves, take care of people who are vulnerable.
Alors la prochaine fois que tu vois une personne sans abri,
pense de toutes les difficultés qu'ils vivent jour à jour
et qu'ils n'ont pas choisi ce style de vie.
On veut aussi dire merci à Marine et Dan pour nous laisser parler avec eux.